I thought the defense is a little bit ahead. The defense at times, I think, showed that we have a chance to be really good on defense. We've got some dynamic players in the front. Got a dynamic linebacker in Omar, and have good depth in the secondary. So I felt like the defense kind of controlled the tempo of the game. Offensively, we really struggled for rhythm. We certainly struggled to run the ball. But, Kyle made some throws. I mean, there's no doubt that he is going to be able to get some strikes down the field, and we did that here today. I told the team there at the end on the 4th and 1 foot, if we hit HUD on the little play action pass, the game changes. It starts to shrink a little bit on the defense. So I don't think anybody got hurt, and to be quite frank with you, that was my biggest objective here of the day.
What did you think about your receiving group?
Well, you know what? I may have to go back and watch the film a little bit. We had some drops that kind of stick out in my mind, but then we also had some big plays down the field, and as the game unfolded, we really freely substituted in that position. So half the time I wasn't even certain who all was rotating in and out of the game. So a number of guys jump up and make some catches. Bevel's got drilled early, then he made 2 nice catches a little bit later. I thought Brian probably should have made the one down there in the end zone. Maybe JJ broke it up at the very end. But we're going to be able to throw the ball down the field, and we're going to be able to have guys go up and get it. So we got to get our run game going. That was disappointing. I can't say I was shocked today. When you go against an opponent like this, as much as we have all spring long, our defense is sitting on all the plays. They recognize the splits of the O-line, the depth of the backs, the stances of the O-linemen. The defense is out here calling the plays just about. So we really weren't going to sneak anything in there in the run game against our defense today.
You said that execution was a priority, given what you had last year and what's coming back. Were you generally pleased with what you saw?
Yeah, maybe generally pleased. There were a couple moments offensively I thought we lost our focus. And, one of the great exercises for us as coaches is to go through this process of being on the sideline, having the headsets on. We did 2 dress rehearsals for this game because one of the biggest things you got to be able to do is communicate. And on game day, as a coaching staff, everybody has a job to do, and their job is very definitively defined. And one guy's got to get the down and distance. One guy's got to give the personnel. One guy's got to communicate the play. So there's a lot of things that I think we probably can clean up a little bit here, but that's why we did it out here today. So we're going to have to be better, no doubt about that. But I think holistically, we've positioned ourselves where we need to be this spring.
Being out there on the field, you got a chance to not only look at the players, but some of the coaches on the sidelines. Chris Koch was fired up for his defense. What'd you like from what he was doing and coach calling the plays out?
Yeah, well, I think that Chris's experience and depth of coordinating is going to be a great asset for us, and he's got a great demeanor and disposition and attitude, and the players have responded really, really well to Coach Koch. And I kind of allowed that interaction to take place this spring and allow Coach to kind of take control of that group and be front and center and be the leader out there, or at least the emotional leader right there. And I thought he did a good job today. I thought the defense was certainly ready to play.
You told us today the captains,
yes,
6
sir.
captains today. What are they going to be doing to continue your message? That you keep?
Yeah, well, at the end of the year, I think 5 of them were captains for us when we went into the playoffs. We added a couple at the very end last year when we went into the postseason. So Laletta was kind of new, and Brian Brown was new here for this upcoming season. Really good group of guys. Those seniors in particular, 1 or 2 of those guys that are in their 5th year, kind of came in with me in that first class, and kind of started from scratch and have been through all of this together. So again, I still think that what we learned last year in the postseason will help this football team this year. It may not have helped us today, to the level that you'd like it to help us. But I think once we really get up and running, we'll recognize the advantage of last year's experiences.
Last question.
You're talking about last year's. Now that the spring game's over, it's kind of hands off for the coaches.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned, Kyle's going to run the offense. Do you like the way, you're team is positioned, especially given the talent you have coming back?
Yeah, I think there's enough blend on both sides of the ball of experienced veterans who know what they have to be able to do. As a matter of fact, we have one practice remaining in the spring. I did not use my 15th practice, and I'll use it on Thursday. And we'll come out here with no pads on, and basically we'll teach the student athletes how to execute a 1-hour practice on their own. So when the summer starts up and we don't have access as coaches, they will be able to organize and orchestrate not only the tempo of those practices, but the content within that practice. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of those senior captains and some of those leaders in our football team take ownership here this summer to have us in position when we come back on August the 3rd.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much.